Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name's Cheryl and in today's video we're going to do some Christmas tree napkins. I did a Christmas tree napkin video last year and this was the napkin pattern that I used. This year I have an easier pattern that I'm going to show you. And then I'm also going to show you how to add the tree trunk to the Christmas tree napkin that makes it look so cute. This is the first time to my channel. I'm not a sewing channel. I like to do a lot of different things. On occasion, I do have a sewing project. Mostly napkins. For some reason, I love to make napkins. Let's get started on these napkins. This is the supply list for 4 half-circle napkins. The first thing we need to do is press the fabric. I use the 16-inch Wilton cake plate for my template, but you could use a pizza pan, a large platter, anything close to 16 inches in size. You want to fold your fabric so that you can cut out 2 circles at one time. I use this disappearing ink pen, but you can use anything to trace your pattern because it's not going to show. If you have pinking shears, I would use those to cut out the fabric, but if you don't, regular scissors are fine. Let me give you a Christmas. And then you need to cut out 2 more in your other fabric. If you have good scissors, you can layer your fabric so that you can cut all 4 out at the same time. As long as I spend this day with you. Next, we need to fold the circle in half and press it. And then we're going to trim along that pressed edge so that we now have 2 half circles. And we do it in both fabrics. Now we're going to take one of each of the fabrics and we're going to put the right sides together and then we're going to clip the fabric. You want to adjust your stitch length to around 2.5. Make sure you leave about a 2-inch opening on the straight side of the napkin. And I always start sewing on one side of the opening and end it on the other side. Sewing about a 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric. And when you need to make the turn, you want to leave your needle down, pick up your pressure foot, turn your fabric, put your pressure foot back down, and continue sewing. And if you haven't sewn in a while, don't forget to backstitch when you stop and start your sewing. Now we need to turn the fabric right side out, and I use this little wood tool to help push out the corners to make them nice and sharp. I try to press the seams as best I can on this round napkin. And then it's ready for the final press. And then this is where you need to turn the opening. You need to turn it under, press it, and now it's ready for the top stitch. For the top stitch, you want to adjust the stitch length to about a 4, and then I sew about a 1/4 inch from the edge of the napkin for my top stitch, and then you sew all the way around the napkin, and that closes up the opening. And now we're ready to fold. I think it's just easier to watch than for me to explain. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas. And once I get it just the way I want it, then I press it. And whether it's a half circle napkin like this one or the full circle napkin that we're going to do next, they're both folded the same way. And that's it. Super easy, and it turns out so cute. And now on to our full circle napkin with the tree trunk. It's just a little more difficult. And here's our supply list to make 4 napkins. I already have a lot of napkins already cut out because I sold these at craft shows. So right here, I'm just getting my fabric trimmed down to make sure that my circles are exactly the same size. But you'll want to make sure that you have 4 circles in each fabric and then the tree trunk. The first thing we need to do for this napkin is cut our tree trunk. And I made my tree trunk 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Make sure you put your stitch length back to about 2.5. And again, we're going to sew about 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric. And make sure you sew 3 sides, leaving the small end open so we can turn it right side out. And once I get it turned right side out, I'm going to use that same tool to get those corners nice and square. If you're using a fabric like this that you want to make sure you have right side up when you fold your napkin versus one like this where the direction doesn't matter, you'll want to place your tree trunk on the bottom right or left side so that when you fold the napkin, the tree trunk's in the right spot. And once you find where your tree trunk's going to go, you just place it in between the 2 pieces of fabric with the right sides together, and the opening of the tree trunk goes towards the outside of the napkin. And then everything else is like the first napkin. We're going to clip the napkin closed. We're going to leave a 2-inch opening. And when I sew my napkins together, I put my stitch length at 2.5, and when I do the top stitch, I put it at 4. I sew in 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric, and I always start at the one side of the opening and end at the other side. And when you turn it right side out, your tree trunk should look like this. Now we're going to press the seams open as best we can. And closing the seam on a round edge is just a little more difficult. You just need to take a little time until you get it the way you want it and press it down, and then you're ready for the top stitch. And you sew the top stitch all the way around, closing up the opening. And now that our top stitch is done, we're ready to fold. So you just want to make sure your tree trunk's at the bottom and your first fold doesn't go quite all the way over, and then you just go back and forth. And just like before, it's easier to watch than for me to explain how to do it. And once I get it the way I want it, I do the final press. And one more important thing that you might want to do is take an extra circle that you've cut or a piece of paper and fold it into the Christmas tree shape. Then when you wash your napkins, you'll know how to fold them back into the Christmas tree. Let me know which one you're going to try, the half circle Christmas tree, the one from last year's video, or the new one with the tree trunk. And don't forget, they make great Christmas gifts too. You know how much fabric I have cut out. If you subscribe, like, and share this video, just put done in the comments, and I'm going to have a drawing to give away the free fabric. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.